British people know how to handle their emotions, not like those hysterical Americans or romantic Europeans. But is this true? And if so, where did the British stiff upper lip come from? Well, in the 1600s and 1700s, our ancestors were absolute nutters. People would visit England and remark on the kissing and fighting. In the 1700s, there was even a cult of sensibility, where showing your emotions was really fashionable. But everything changed with the French Revolution. That mass outburst of emotion and guillotining terrified the British elites, and emotion became regarded as dangerous. Then, over the following decades, Britain was at war with France, and they painted Napoleon, the French leader, as an emotional basket case, and the Duke of Wellington, Britain's hero, as the embodiment of British stiff upper lip. After the victory over Napoleon at Waterloo, the 1800s was dominated by the stiff upper lip. You can see it across the culture. In Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, you have men and women suffering in silence. In architecture, a more austere classical style was embraced, in opposition to the lavish, emotional Baroque that dominated in Europe. And in poetry, Tennyson wrote about the charge of the Light Brigade and British stoicism on the battlefield. But it wasn't enough for just adults to absorb this. Emotional self-restraint was forced on British youth. In public schools, Greek stoicism was taught in the classroom, and discipline was forced into them on the sports pitch. And this filtered down to the working classes through organisations like the Boys Brigade. But then, in the later 1800s, the British stiff upper lip took a darker turn. At the time, scientists were pushing a theory of racial hierarchy, and one of the key ideas within this was the ability to control your emotions. Darwin wrote that savages cried a lot more than British people, so the British stiff upper lip became a way of justifying colonising foreign countries. Then in the early 1900s, you have the two world wars, when the British stiff upper lip reaches its zenith in the Blitz, the keep calm and carry on posters, and images of women queuing stoically for rations. But this was also the beginning of the end for the stiff upper lip. In the decades that followed, mass immigration changed the national culture, and young people, particularly in the 60s, rejected the stiff upper lip. But you can still see its remnants today in our love of queuing and the classic British understatement.